It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chllie Falls.
Hey, good morning. Welcome to Travel and Cruise Industry Podcast. On this, what is today? Today's the 12th of March. I have no idea if you heard that opening or not. I didn't. For some reason, the volume was completely off in the headset. So I'm hoping, let's see, Javier and Joanne are here. Gary's here. Can you guys hear me okay? Please stick a yes or a no in. If you can hear me, say something. Yes, thank you, Hot Air Tom. Okay, so sorry about that. That was weird. I've never done that before. Anyway, so here we are with today's show, brought to you by Will US, the owner of Scoot Around, and by Chillie Cruises. All right, we got several stories this morning. The lead story today, Orlando tornado hits a live broadcast, which was just an amazing story. Also, this morning, an oil tanker accident. That's the one that Gretchen mentioned on the show Monday. Mariner of the Seas to New Orleans. A plume of smoke triggers inspection. Women in global adventure tourism. Another outbreak on Coral Princess. And longer cruises dropped by Valliant Lady. That and lots more live here at 11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Today, folks, is National Baked Scallops Day. I like scallops any way you can put them in front of me. I like little ones. I like big ones. It doesn't matter. I love scallops. And yeah, I know some people say that some of them are shark. I don't care. If it tastes like scallops, that's fine. Yesterday, I didn't do a show yesterday, folks. But yesterday was National Gray-Haired Grumpy Old Man Day. And of course, I celebrated that the entirety of the day and tried to be as grumpy as possible at all times. That was my entire shtick yesterday. This day in history, in 1894, this one kind of surprised me. In 1894, Coca-Cola is sold in bottles for the first time. I had no idea that they had been bottling Coke that long. Back in before the turn of the century, that century. Wow. 1894, Coca-Cola. Because later on in life, I was able to do a little work for Coca-Cola, but it didn't have to do with glass bottles. It had to do with 2-liter bottles. And I did some contract lobbying work for Coca-Cola, which was an interesting experience. I'll tell you all about it one of these days. If you're listening via the podcast, you can always access the podcast via my blog, which is accessadventure.net, or wherever you get your podcasts from. All the big guys, TuneIn, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Podchaser, Pandora, Stitcher, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts. Just search for travel and cruise industry news and up pops the fat guy. If you're listening to a podcast and want to jump over to the video feed for an interview or pictures or clips on that day's show, there's always a link in the description of the podcast so you can do just that. All right, one other bit of news this morning before we continue onward. I'm not used to being ahead of things, ahead of schedule, but I printed out my luggage tags for October 31st. All right, yeah, I usually do that on the 29th. So I'm running considerably ahead of schedule with the luggage tags. Actually, I've got to also get, I hope it works. Yeah, that should work. I got to be able to print out the breakaway luggage tags before I leave here. So I've got them with me for when we switch over from Rome to Barcelona and get on the breakaway. So what else do I have for the day? I think that's about it. All right, so I guess we need to get on with the news today, folks. Oh, by the way, it's gonna brush 80 here today. 79. They're saying it's a high temperature for the day. So I didn't make it out yesterday afternoon. It didn't quite get hot enough for me to be outside, but 80 degrees, I can go out for a while this afternoon. So I hope to jump in the chair and go out and ride around the yard, maybe get out to the pool deck for a while, get a little sun. That would be a nice change of pace. So, all right, so I'll be back with today's news, folks, after a quick break from one of our fine network sponsors. All right, we're going to start off today down in Orlando. For someone that covers weather for about 6 months out of the year, this is one of the neatest stories I've ever reported on. A tornado hit a TV station Monday near Orlando during a live weather broadcast. WOFL-TV meteorologist Brooks Garner was warning people in the path of the storm to take shelter when he realized the tornado was coming right toward the TV station. While still on air, Garner told everyone in the building to take cover. Get to your safe space under your desk. We're catching debris right now on the rooftop, he said. The storm caused at least one home to collapse and damaged several others, but there were no reports of injuries or death. A preliminary survey from the National Weather Service found damage indicating an EF1 tornado along most of the path and a small area rated EF2 with peak winds estimated up to 115 miles per hour. Garner stayed on the air as power flickered and the twister passed over. This was a very situation, he told viewers. This is a real live tornado. Garner continued on telling viewers that where the tornado was headed next. About 90 seconds later, he was able to stop and catch his breath and admitted, in all the years I've been doing this, that's the first time I ever had a tornado hit the station. Good story. A cargo ship had a tanker transporting jet fuel for the U.S. military off eastern England on Monday, just before our live show, setting both vessels ablaze and sending fuel pouring into the North Sea. All but one of the 37 crew of the two ships were brought safely ashore. One crew member from the cargo ship Solong was missing. The site was still smoking this morning. Gretchen brought the initial information to our chat room during Monday's show, and thank you, Gretchen, for that information.
Experience Alaska at an affordable rate. VR1 balconies are only $1,289, including taxes and port charges. MSC Poesia sells from Seattle, May 25th, 2026. Book now. Call 434-258-9264 or go to bit.ly/Poesia Alaska 1.
Mariner of the Seas will offer cruises departing from New Orleans during the 2026-2027 winter season. Repositioning from Galveston, Mariner is scheduled to arrive in Louisiana in early November for itineraries to the Western Caribbean. On February 26, while docked at Tortola, British Virgin Islands, the Norwegian Epic emitted a plume of white smoke that raised concern among local authorities. This prompted the Environmental Health Division to conduct an evaluation of emissions to ensure no harmful chemicals were being released. According to a statement issued by the government on February 27th, the assessment tested the smoke for various hazardous materials, including volatile organic compounds, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, and particulate matter. This was to ensure that the air quality was not being compromised by the ship's emissions, the government added, elaborating the reasoning behind the assessment. It was disclosed that Norwegian Epic's environmental officer fully cooperated with the EHD, providing the documentation needed for the investigation. Soon after the investigation was conducted, the EHD announced that the results from the test were within normal range, proving that the smoke did not pose any threat to passengers or residents of the island. The EDH still recommended that the vessel switch from using scrubbers to using low sulfur fuel while it is berthed, and the Epic has capitulated with that demand. Congratulations. Please beware, folks, that Allianz has implemented a change to their cancellation policy effective March 28, 2024. The key changes in the policies are residents from Florida, Georgia, Kansas, Montana, South Carolina, and Indiana no longer have the option to cancel any time before departure. All states except New York are now subject to a 15-day cancellation window. Only New York residents can still cancel anytime. If you're interested in Allianz travel insurance or the brilliant annual policies from Allianz, give me a call, 434-258-9264. We'll take care of your travel insurance before your next trip. In a fabulous article by Alessandra Dubin, Women in the Global Adventure Tourism Industry, travel that includes biking, camping, hiking, and other outdoor activities in a natural setting is estimated to be worth a whopping $2 trillion by the year 2032. Women play a major role in driving the sector's astronomical growth, making up 57% of travelers who book through global travel companies, according to research from Adventure Travel Trade Association. While women overall are driving the spike in adventure travel bookings, the statistics show that older women specifically are making much of the impact. Women ages 65 and older represent the greatest recent increase, spiking from 4% of the sector in 2019 to a whopping 18% in 2022, the Washington Post reported, and many of these travelers are hitting the road solo. While adventure travel can mean mountain climbing or endurance trekking, it doesn't have to mean vigorous activity. Women travelers are also seeking the gamut of options with this wide-ranging category. Adventure travel doesn't have to be rough, one of the participants said, especially when options exist to stay in a 5-star, eco-minded location and beautifully designed lodges. Women constantly ask where we are going next, and they love the camaraderie of meeting other women who want to be adventurous, but who also don't want to rough it. Interesting. Ladies, if you're interested, give me a call and we can sit down and start planning a trip or a trek or whatever you want to call it. 258-9264. Now, many of these ladies, guys, travel with their husbands too. I mean, it's not totally ladies only. Many of them like to go on treks with their better half. They're just the ones making a lot of the decisions now, and the hubsters going along with it. So it does not necessarily have to be just solo or single women. There's all kinds of adventure activities out there for everyone. For the second time this year, a Princess Cruises ship joined the long list of vessels impacted by gastrointestinal outbreaks that began at the start of the winter cruising season in late 2024. Coral Princess experienced an onboard spread of the bug during her 16-night Panama Canal ocean-to-ocean voyage that departed Los Angeles on February 21st. The cruise concluded in Fort Lauderdale on March the 9th, but not before 69 guests out of a total of 1,906 on board reported symptoms. Although no official announcement has been made, eagle-eyed passengers have spotted Virgin Voyages swapping Valliant Lady's 10-plus night cruises with shorter 6, 7, and 8-night journeys. The affected cruises were planned to sail November 27th and December 2nd, 2025, January 31st, and February 10th of 2026. If you're booked on any of these cruises, please contact your travel advisor. Cruise the Florida Gulf Coast and the Keys. Free airfare and savings up to $1,200. This round-trip cruise from St. Petersburg promises an exhilarating journey around the Sunshine State. Prepared for turquoise waters, fine sand beaches, and bright blue waters where sea turtles and manatees live beneath, and sunsets that melt into the horizon, all aboard our newest ship so you can do it all in style. Explore Marco Island, where the expansive mangrove forests of the Western Hemisphere serve as a backdrop for meetings with friendly resident dolphins. Experience the colorful and laid-back southernmost point in the U.S., Key West. Walk the same sunlit streets that inspired Ernest Hemingway to create some of his most famous works. Feel the energy of the town that vibrates with the unique cultural rhythm and literary history. Wander through the historic neighborhoods of Punta Gorda, admiring the beautifully preserved homes from the mid-19th and 20th century, and wrap up your journey with a day in St. Petersburg, exploring its renowned art museums and beautiful botanical gardens. That's the lovely Florida Gulf Coast and Keys cruise on American Cruise Line, where small cruises are done perfectly. All right, that's going to put an end to the news portion of today's show. While we were going on, I received this from Jamin and Mercedes. They were on the Silhouette, just got home. So I thought I'd share that with you. All right, let's go over in the chat room and see who's fussing at me today. Looks like we started off with some ex-folks. Madison Stewart, Amy Kanda. Good to have you guys. And Hot Air Tom says, happy hump day to everybody. Of course, I said, wow, you were early today, Hot Air Tom. He says, yeah, he beat Mike. There's Joanne. Says, good morning, everybody. Gary Older Than Dirt's with us. Bob's here. Have a great day, Chillie. Thank you, Bob. Amy says, looking good, Chillie. I'm looking good. I'm feeling good. You notice no oxygen? And yesterday, while the stories were playing, I put the oxygen back on, took it back off at the end of the show. I have not touched it today, and my O2 level's fine. So this is a nice improvement for me. So you guys will know, I have been I've modified my treatments, which the doctor agreed with. So I do 2 treatments a day and 4 inhalers, 2 spritzes out of an inhaler per day. And that seems to be helping. Now, does that mean that I can walk without losing my breath? No. I still, under pressure, it goes, and I have to have my oxygen. But sitting here, this is back to normal from the way it was 6 weeks ago or now or whatever. Sonny's with us down in Mississippi. Hi, Sonny. Another ex-person said hello. That's Saney. Kenneth's with us up in Pennsylvania. There's Katie. Katie's getting ready to go out to Seattle. That would be a couple days yet, and she's going to fly away. Amy says, do you know if Carnival Firenze is staying on the West Coast? They only have itineraries out till January 2027, yet Panorama and Radiance from the race West Coast are out through April 27th. I have not heard, Amy, but I will check. I'll look at that and see if I can figure out what's happening with Firenze. There's Steve out in Kentucky. Hi, Steve. Katie says where did that go? Katie, I lost you, Katie. Where'd you go? Oh, there you are. The tornado was in Lake Mary, about 45 minutes north of Orlando, about an hour from me. Oh, I knew it was reasonably close. Wow, there's Jamin. Hi, Jamin. Welcome home. Glad you guys enjoyed the silhouette. Hot Air says we can always print out the breakaway luggage tags on the ship. The printer will be with me. I know that, Hot Air Tom, but I don't like to count on other people, and I can do it myself. But anyway, that's me. Todd's with us. Good morning, Todd. Says good morning to everybody. There's Viv. Hi, Viv. Viv says hello to Hot Air Tom and to me. Always good to see you, Viv. Viv has a Harley Davidson scooter that's awesome. Just awesome. Viv and I are very similar in, having to have the mobility devices and the oxygen. So I enjoyed visiting with her in England while we were there. Hope to go back on some better weather time and visit her sometime again. Roger's with us down in Jacksonville. Hot Air Tom says Chillie recovered quicker than I did. Oh, I don't know about that, Hot Air Tom. Remember, I almost died one day in there when I had to call the emergency crew in. Oh yeah, Katie says not Seattle, Vancouver. That's right. My bad, Katie. I should remember that. I've got the tickets booked for. Hot Air says Cindy and I will be on Silhouette in August 25, Iceland to Boston via Greenland. Wonder if Greenland will be a state by then. Yeah, no. I saw an interesting report sometime yesterday or during the night last night about the amount of ice, like in glaciers in Greenland, that has melted this year. It seems like just an awful lot. There's John. Hi, John. Just got download figured out, and it's in your email. Oh, thank you. I asked John to work on a project that I had trouble with yesterday. And he obviously had some problems because he didn't get it done until today. So, but he figures stuff like that out. Sometimes I can't. I know I'll have to get with him and make sure I can duplicate what he did. That's going to be the trick. Katie says I might upgrade on return flights or one of them. Okay, well, that's fine. Just let me know if there's anything I can do. I certainly don't mind contacting those folks for you, Katie. Joanne says Greenland is beautiful. Some places are super rustic. Of course, I was making a tongue-in-cheek statement to Hot Air, but I've not been to Greenland and would love to go. I've not been to Iceland either and would love to go. Only I want to go there, both of them, in some kind of warmer climate. I don't want to ever do anything in absolutely cold weather again. I didn't get warm from England and France for 6 weeks. It's going to be today before I actually get warm. But seriously, folks. Kenneth says that insurance you are talking about, you get a full year of coverage, or just go cruise by cruise coverage. Greenland was freezing. Yeah, I know. Okay, Kenneth. So you can do either way. To me, if you travel twice in the course of a year, it's cheaper to get the annual policy. The full annual policy is like $280 that covers everything. That's a rough price. It might vary a few dollars one way or the other. But I just wrote the annual policies for 2 people, and they were they were a little younger than I am, but close to my age. And it was $280 for the annual policies. If you travel twice in the course of a year, it's cheaper than doing it individually. So, if you're interested, just let me know. John says, I bought a full year, hope to do transatlantic next fall, which would then make insurance way cheaper than buying for each event. Yes, that's the way it works out. All right, guys, that's going to wrap me up for today. I will monitor things again tomorrow and see if anything happens. If not, I'll be back on Friday and we'll take care of some more of this silliness come Friday morning, same time, same channel. As always, guys, please smash the thumbs up button. We're over 100 in house today. That's a good number. I'm doing a tour in Greenland in search of icebergs. I don't think Chillie will find warm and Greenland together. Yeah, I know. I'm dreaming. So at any rate, what was I saying? That's going to wrap me up for today, guys. As always, I want each and every one of you to stay safe, stay healthy, think about cruising. And hopefully one day soon we'll all get together on the high seas, just like Hot Air Tom and Kenneth and Robin and who else is going? Gary and Miriam and Lourdes are all going on the 31st. Looking forward to cruising with that gang. So, and looking forward to being on the Epic again. Yeah, this will be my 3rd time on the Epic. All right, guys, that's going to wrap me up for today. As always, have a great day. And I'll see you either tomorrow or Friday, whichever comes first. See you next time, everybody.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner. Hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chillie's Cruises.